Hi everyone, Tori here. I wanted to respond to a letter I received from one of my readers. It says, Dear Tori, I've been talking to a guy from work for about 2 weeks now. He's great. He's really almost too good to be true. He's funny, thoughtful, and does what he says he's going to do. However, most of our relationship has taken place via text, an average of 30 texts per day. These texts are fun and flirty, but we've also shared some pretty intimate details about life events. Also, he is evasive when I try to make plans with him to meet face to face. I can tell that he likes me because he initiates the text messages, and he's told me that he does. But I'm wondering why he is so evasive about meeting face to face. I really like this guy, and I don't want to seem like the crazy girl. But at the same time, I don't want to play games or waste my time with something that's going nowhere. To make matters even more complicated, we work for the same organization, but in different buildings, and he outranks me on an organizational chart. He's in no way my supervisor. But I still worry. Should I call it quits or be direct and tell him I don't want to text anymore? Going crazy. There's a few areas I want to discuss as I address this. They include perception, mindful listening, and self-disclosure in relationships. I would like to give you some recommendations on how you and anyone else in a similar situation can move forward, and then I'll recap at the end. Well, going crazy, you have quite the predicament on your hands. Now, a lot of people would say, if it seems too good to be true, then you just might be. But let's break this down. First and foremost, workplace romance is always tricky. One part to consider is the perception of dating in the workplace. Now, even though you are in different buildings, you still work for the same organization. There could come a time where you also will be on the same team, or one day he could even be your boss. Susan Heathfield writes in Tips for Dealing with Romantic Relationships in the Workplace, How to Deal with Dating, Sex, and Romance at Work, to make sure you know your company's policy on workplace relationships. You mentioned that these texts are fun and flirty, but you've also had some serious conversations as well. Given that this is all through text, there is no body language to read, which composes a great deal of our communication. A process called mindful listening is to see, hear, and feel with your whole being. Now, this can be difficult through text. What I might suggest is to see the time of day these different text messages are being sent. They may correspond to what he is doing. Is there any reason to suspect he's married or in a relationship? You have to read between the lines, so to speak. Did he initiate sharing those intimate details, or was that you? The fact that he will disclose intimate information through text but not meet face to face makes me feel like he is hiding something or isn't telling the truth, and that raises red flags. Bold.com states the main reason that men will not meet those who they are solely texting or chatting with online as they're scared, they're insecure, they're hiding something, they're immature, they're already in a relationship, they're dating up a storm, they're just going through the motions, or they have lost hope. So here is my suggestion. You need to be honest with yourself about where you want this to go and communicate that to him. I'm not suggesting giving him an ultimatum. If you are fine to keep texting him and know that it's not going any further, then that's okay. However, if your goal is to have a relationship that can potentially develop, then you need to make sure he is on the same page. Utilizing the mindful listening, because guys are not always the best at listening, spell it out for him. Tell him what you want from this relationship, if it is going to be one. Put the ball in his court. As always, you need to make sure it does stay professional in the workplace. There should never be retaliation because he chose not to pursue more than a friendship. The worst feeling is to be led on, and that's what I don't want to have happen. So, if this is something that you want to pursue, pin him down and have that conversation. Like you said, you don't want to waste your time on something that isn't going anywhere. I hope this has helped, and until next time, have a great day.